All right, it's Media Day. We're talking 10-5A Division II, and we are lucky enough to be joined by the reigning Coach of the Year in that district, Pat Kennedy from Lake Creek. Coach, before we talk about this year, man, I got to talk about last year. I know it's a relatively new school, but the records you must have set offensively in last year's deal where in all your games, I mean, you except for two of them, you scored 6 touchdowns at least. Just the fun it was to coach that offensive and defensive group.
So last year, we had a senior quarterback, Cade Tessier, who's a POW at PWO at Baylor. Came back. He was healthy from the year before. I mean, he was fantastic. We have the sophomore running back, Tyvon Byers. The offensive line was really, really good. Sam Lee, the receiver, was a junior, had some big plays. Kaysen Puska, senior, stepped up and played really well. I think we ended up scoring about 53 points a game on average. I was a defensive coach for a long, long time, and I finally figured out that offense is a lot easier to coach because, you just get the ball in the hands of playmakers and let them go make plays. Now, that being said, we got to do a little better job this year in some spots on defense that we had because we gave up. We had some games where we got into offensive shootouts, and that's kind of how that went. You go from trying to hold people to 17, 24 points, and that's hard to do because everybody's got guys. So then you got to turn around and just try to score with them and then just try to wear them out, and so they can't score with you. So that's kind of how we went about it. We onside kicked a little bit more than most people. We went for 2 a little bit. I kind of got into that data analysis and crunching numbers and stuff. And that's kind of how we got started trying to score points. Now we've kind of revamped it this offseason, so we'll see how it goes. We start spring football today. So.
That's what I was going to ask you about, having to revamp with the new quarterback in there. How who might that be, and how hard is it going to be to replace Cade at that position?
Last year we had a backup. Eli Morkos was sophomore. He's a junior this year. I always compared Cade Tessier to Jalen Hurts. He's just a winner. I know being from that part of the world and understanding that football over there in Alabama, when they had the quarterback Tua and they had Jalen, they had a quarterback that was like this, and then they had a thrower, in Tua. Well, we got us a thrower. And so today we're going to go out there and we're going to find out. I think we have a chance to be as explosive or more explosive next year offensively. So that's the exciting part, but you don't know until you get out there and you try it out. So, when you sit down and just look at it on paper, we have a chance to be really explosive. Eli is going to be a great quarterback. I mean, he's already being recruited by a lot of people. So we're excited about him.
As explosive or more explosive? Boy, I just other district coaches have just kept their laptops up against the wall hearing that statement, because I'm going to go on to the next person that I want to talk about that's explosive in his own right, which is Ty Byers. How do you? I'm not going to ask you to tell me how to contain a guy like that, but he offensive player of the year or district MVP, and he's back for 2 more years. Just talk about him as a runner and what makes him so dangerous.
Ty is he's extremely strong. He's a hard runner. He's a physical runner. I spend most of my time with Coach White dealing with the offensive line, because I think if we can block the first level and get Ty to the next level, he's going to miss somebody. The linebacker's going to miss him. They're going to get tired of stepping up and tackling him. And then he's in the third level, and safeties don't want to tackle him. I thought about it. If he was over at the Woodlands running behind that offensive line, he would have 2,000 yards over there too, because they would get him to the third level, and the third level defenders don't want to tackle him. It's very, very difficult for a 170-pound safety, 180-pound safety to come up play after play after play and tackle him one-on-one. If you can block it correctly, he's going to get 6 yards. He's going to get 8 yards. Then he's going to go for 40 yards. And then so So that's kind of what we do with Ty. Ty's probably, the scary thing is he's probably, I don't know, he's 11.4 in the 100, which, it's not blinding speed, but he's about 205 pounds right now, which he was running about 195 last year. He's about 10 pounds heavier. I think he squatted about 600 pounds, and he power cleaned, I think, 300 pounds. So he's a load to tackle. And so we just got to figure out how to get him. He can catch in space. He runs really good routes. So we're going to go out here in a few minutes and figure it out. So,
Coach, you're scaring me. All right. I'm not going to lie to you. You're scaring me, but luckily I'm not a coach, so I ain't got to worry about any of that stuff. I would like to talk about spring ball starting today. What area of the field are you kind of looking at to see somebody step up and take over for some graduating players?
I'm interested to see, because we have quite a few receivers are out in baseball, and we won't have them for a long time because our baseball program's pretty good. So I'm looking to see our young receivers step up. I'm looking to see our outside linebacker play. I'm looking to see the secondary depth, those sorts of things in the spring, and how that goes. We've got to replace some outside linebacker positions, and we've got to figure out how to get better there, and then at the safety spot, and then at the corner. So, when we go out there, that's what we're looking for. I think offensive line, we're looking for 1 or 2 offensive linemen, and then we'll see how those young receivers are.
So you kind of got through your schedule fairly easily until you hit the Marshall game. Is there something from that Marshall game that you can take and say, okay, now if I do this, this, and this during the season, I'll be better prepared for the athletes that they bring out to the table? So,
I said, and I watched the Marshall video a lot because it's the one that, if you sit down and pencil it in, Coach Williams and I should play again probably on Thanksgiving. And they got a good football program. They got a lot of good athletes. We have to be physical, and but I tell my kids, there's no guarantee about anything. So we're looking to get through spring football and play Angleton. But when you go back and you look at what hurt us, tackling in space hurt us, and then knocking people up off the football, which we had done. So we're a little bigger in the offensive line. Ty's a little bigger. We can throw the ball so people can't. I believe we'll be able to throw the ball, so that'll help spread people out. I think we're gonna have a 6'4" receiver and a 6'2" receiver, and then still have Sam that we can get the ball to. So it makes defenses where they can't cheat up for Ty, and then they have to defend the pass. So when they can't cheat up for Ty, that makes the run game a lot easier. It really, we're ready. We're ready to get started. I've said that enough times. So it's one of those things. We're gonna go figure it out. Now, I would say that the other teams in our district are gonna be better. I think Randall will be, because of their growth. Fulshear, when they got big, they got really, really good, and then Huntsville had really, really young talent. And then Brenham's Brenham. I mean, so our district will be better. I believe that. And then our non-district is Angleton. Angleton probably wants to knock a knot on our head, and then after that we should be okay. But that's kind of where it is, and then getting into the playoffs to see how it works itself out. But I appreciate it.
No problem. It's going to be fun, and we can't wait to be out there with our cameras, see what you got going on.
All right. Thank you.